Hey, what's up, people? It's Mike, the NBA guy, and I think it's time to talk about Giannis because everyone else on the planet is talking about Giannis, and it does not seem to be anywhere close to stopping. The Giannis trade rumors, I don't know if it's fair to say they've reached their peak because it's a long off season, and with very little else to talk about, it's probably the only thing the NBA media is going to talk about for the next several months until basketball comes back. I'm tired of it already, but despite that, I am going to give my take. All right. Everyone is saying Giannis is going to leave. And for the record, okay, before we get into this, with some potential thoughts on trade rumors specifically, I don't think Giannis is leaving the Bucks. I don't. Okay? He seems like a really nice guy. All right, he's a foreign player, first of all, and just from what I've seen, it seems like foreign players generally don't want to leave their franchise as much as American players do. And 100% just going off the little that I've seen here. But, I mean, think about it. You come from another country, all right, a completely another country. You're coming from Greece or wherever in Europe, right? And you come here, and this city is your new home. This is the only place you really know in America. Do you really want to go and find somewhere else? Like, do you really feel like moving around in this country you're not from? I don't think so. I think you've got this city, like whether it be Milwaukee with Giannis, or you're like Dirk on the Mavs, right? And this city accepts you, and they love you, and they want you there, and you don't know anywhere else anyway. Why would you leave? And in Giannis's case, we're not talking about a trash franchise here. Even if Milwaukee hasn't made the finals yet, it's not like they've been terrible to him. You know, they very clearly want him to stay. They've clearly tried to build around him. They haven't done a terrible job. They just haven't quite gotten there yet. They haven't been perfect, but they haven't quite made it. But it's not like we're not talking about the Cavs with LeBron or anything where Giannis is just surrounded by scrubs. He's had two 60-win seasons, and he's got an all-star teammate in Chris Middleton who's very good. Eric Bledsoe is good in the regular season, even if he sucks ass in the playoffs. Brook Lopez with his shooting is a great center to pair with Giannis. It's a pretty decent situation. So I do not think Giannis is going to demand to leave unless there is some massive upset in this season or there's some kind of internal chemistry issues. Chemistry issues could be an issue. That's the real way I could see him leaving. But unless there's some big chemistry issue or there's some kind of like if they have another massive upset, like I expect the Bucks preseason prediction, just saying it now, I expect the Bucks to make the finals next season just because I think Giannis is going to improve. I think the team's going to improve, and I think they're finally going to get over the hump and make the finals. But that said, like if there's some kind of massive upset where they lose in the second round again, then maybe. But even then, I don't expect him to leave. I just don't. He says he wants to be there. He seems like a genuine guy, and I think he wants to stay and win for Milwaukee. Now, if he takes a supermax and we get 4 or 5 years from now and they still haven't had, and Giannis still hasn't won a title, then I think he's going to leave. All right, if we get 3 or 4 years from now and he still isn't winning, then yeah, I think he's going to leave. But for right now, I do not expect Giannis to force his way out. All right, I just do not believe it's going to happen. Now, all that said, there's a lot of different teams who've been in talks. A big one has been the Warriors for the last week, and straight up, I don't understand it. I don't. Okay, you get the number 2 overall pick, so LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards, or if the Bucks really want somebody else, then somebody else, and Andrew Wiggins, and I guess Klay Thompson? Like, they're obviously not going to trade Steph Curry, so like if you're asking me, the number 2 pick and Andrew Wiggins and next year's high pick from the Timberwolves, that is not enough for Giannis. Okay, and even if you give Klay Thompson, that's not enough for Giannis because he's not a star like that. He's not a superstar. He's an all-star who functions as best as a second option. Klay Thompson is not a guy I want being the best player on my team because he's not, he's not a shot. He's not really a creator. He's like the second best shooter in NBA history, but he's not somebody who you want sitting there carrying your team. He's not going to sit there and go for 30 points every night and be the main ball handler or anything. You know? This is not who Klay Thompson is. So I do not see a way that the Warriors really afford Giannis unless they try to trade Steph Curry for him. I've seen rumors for the Heat trading for Giannis and the Mavs trading for Giannis. I think both are stupid. Both teams are teams who are going to have money and cap space in free agency when Giannis becomes a free agent next year. So why on earth would they waste their money now trying to trade for him when they're going after him in free agency? And especially, the Mavs do not have the stuff to trade for him, okay? Because you're not trading Luka, and Porzingis for Giannis is not. Porzingis is not good enough to trade for Giannis. And then the Heat, they have pieces, but a big thing of the Heat is their culture. They've built this winning culture where they have these guys who work their ass off, and they want to be there in the Heat because of their culture. If you trade all these young guys, if you trade Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo for Giannis, don't you think that's kind of spitting in the face of this whole culture they've built? That would completely break down their culture. That would show it was all bullshit. So they're not going to do that anyway. All right, they're going to go after him in free agency. One team who literally no one has talked about, who I think weirdly have a decent chance if Giannis does demand out, is the Timberwolves. And let me explain why. And this is definitely a hot take, and I don't expect this to happen. If nothing else, because the Timberwolves are probably too stupid to see this is an opportunity because they have the worst franchise in the NBA. Consistently, like they're just fucking garbage. If you're a Timberwolves fan, I'm so sorry for you. Like, I mean, for anyone else, I imagine being a Timberwolves fan is kind of like being a Knicks fan while James Dolan's been there, but like for your entire franchise's history. Okay, it's like just the last 5 years of being a Knicks fan, but with like have that be your entire franchise. It's really bad. And also, there's no past success to look on, except for when you completely failed Kevin Garnett in like 2004. Anyway, enough roasting the Timberwolves. Karl Anthony Towns is the perfect big man in the NBA to pair with Giannis. Okay? He's an elite three-point shooter, and even though he's not very good on defense, Giannis is a great defender, so it covers for him. They are literally the perfect center power forward pair in the NBA right now. Okay? If you were to trade D'Angelo Russell, this year's first round pick, maybe like Beasley, and some future picks for Giannis, I don't know if you're going to get a much better deal than that. Because I don't think anyone's going to trade a superstar straight up for Giannis. Certainly not a young superstar. You know, the Sixers aren't trading for him. The Celtics aren't trading for him. I'm trying to think of anyone else. The Mavs, like I said, they're not trading Luka. The Grizzlies and the Suns, they've got their young core, and I don't think the Suns really have the pieces to get Giannis. And the Grizzlies, I mean, they're not going to give up like Ja Morant for him. So I really don't see anyone else who's going to give a much better offer for someone young. D'Lo's pretty good. Maybe the Bucks can try and make it work. I mean, I'm not saying I think this will happen, but the number one overall pick, and if you take future first from the T-Wolves, even if they have Giannis and Karl Anthony Towns, I think you can count on the Timberwolves. If you take far future picks, like 5 years from now, you can count on the fact that that franchise is going to be shit 5 years from now because they'll find a way to screw it up. You know? I think trading with the T-Wolves could be one of the best offers the Bucks are going to get. If I'm the Timberwolves, that's certainly what I'm trying, but they probably won't because they are very, very dumb. So yeah, that's a trade that I think no one's really thought about. There are other options out there. The Pacers have a lot of decent young players. Maybe they pull off something crazy with like Sabonis and Brogdon for Giannis, or Sabonis and Oladipo for Giannis. I don't know. I mean, Miles Turner is a decent three-point shooter that could be good. Pair him back up with Brogdon again. I just don't know. I do not, like I said, I don't expect him to leave. But if he does leave, I think that the Pacers and the T-Wolves might be the two best options, being completely honest. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Giannis trade rumors. I really hope they die down because I just don't think he's going to leave, okay? I don't. The media is making a big deal out of it because there's no other news right now. but I do not expect Giannis to force his way out of Milwaukee in the next 2 seasons. I expect him to stay there for the long term. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and check out some other videos on my channel. Thank you.